Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly how-to video. My name is Lori McNorton, Floral Design Coordinator for Florist Review and Super Floral. And today I want to create a Christmas, well, I can't say Christmas, holiday wreath, because I'm going to show you different options. I know you're all busy with the Thanksgiving, getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow, with your deliveries and centerpieces and all that. So I hope you take a few minutes to join in for our holiday wreath. So first of all, I am going to kind of show you how to add fresh to an artificial wreath. And this is an easy way to upscale a wreath. Plus, as far as cost, some of the fresh wreaths can be a little bit costly. So this is a way to transform just the regular wreath, artificial wreath, into something that looks nice and fresh, give it some size and some beauty. So first of all, though, when you purchase your wreath, which I got this at the local wholesaler, hobby store, they're very flat, and it is a must that you fluff up the greenery. That is so important, whether it be a wreath, garland, a tree. You've got to form it, make it look nice and full. So I've done that ahead of time. Otherwise, this will be flat. It's been sitting in a case with other wreaths, and so that's the first and most important step. Second, we're going to choose our products. So I've got some silver dollar eucalyptus, which I have hit with a little bit of antique gold because I'm going to use this ribbon, which is holiday, with the gold. It's kind of got the antique look, just to kind of keep it more of a holiday wreath instead of Christmas. Now, I had considered using this neutral, you can pick whatever ribbon, whatever style you like. If you wanted to go a little bit more Christmas. I know we're going straight into Christmas and Thanksgiving is tomorrow, but in the retail, the floral industry, we've already been doing Christmas. We're decorating, we've got our shops decorated, so, but I just wanted to do more holiday. Okay, got some flat cedar, which I love. This is my favorite. And I have got some pine here. So what I want to do first is cut some of this greenery. I'm really going to have to get a bigger table. I've come to the conclusion we're going to have to do that. But I'm going to cut me some flat cedar. I'm going to cut some of the pine tips. I'm going to get this out of the way. All right. I have got bind wire, and I'm just going to cut some strips of the bind wire, because what I want to do, well, I need some sharper tools, it looks like. What I want to do is make some little groupings. So I'm just going to take that, tie them off. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. Leave my bind wire long enough to where once I bind this together, I have enough to tie into the wreath as well. I'm going to do like 3 of these to begin with. I just look like I'm covered in green here. This is definitely going to give some size, give some movement, which I am always talking about. Lots of different textures with the silver dollar eucalyptus. And this is just going to kind of start my base here. So let me clean this off real quick. We will add more, but let's get this. So I've got these groupings, and I'm just going to start tying these in, right in to the wreath. Tying that off. Also, we could take a couple of these sprigs of the artificial and tie them in as well. I'm trying to move this out of the way so we can actually see what we're doing here. That in. Take two pieces here. And then just kind of work it in to the artificial. So we're starting to get that look. Oh, there you go. Add another one. And I've done the 3, but I'm going to leave this one kind of open because I'm going to add some bow and pine cones, and I've got some birch. But this is kind of the base. This is what we're going to start with here. And it's not that you can't take just a piece of like flat cedar and tie it directly in. This is where you get to be creative. You can make it as large as you want, flowing out. You can have it more tight if you have a smaller doorway. And this is going to be what I would consider more for outdoors with the fresh greens. It will definitely last a little longer. But who's to say that you can't have fresh greens inside as well? The fragrance is wonderful. It just will dry up a little bit quicker, but still it'll last long enough to enjoy. And then you can just replace, add in a few extra pieces of fresh greens over on the top of it. And like I said, I'm just kind of putting this in and taking a couple pieces of the evergreen and wiring it in, or twist tying it really in. All right, I think we've got that. So I've got a couple pieces of birch log here that I really like. It kind of gives it that winter feel. And again, I've made my arrangement all the way around, so I'm going to cluster up here the ribbon, the pine cones, and the birch. So I've taken a couple pieces of the rustic wire, and I'm going to tie that in. And again, I'm going to twist it in. Then I'm also going to take a couple of the sprigs of the artificial wreath and tie it in as well. All right. There we go. Could have left those a little bit longer, I believe, but it's going to work. one tied in. Let's see. Like I said, no right or wrong way to do this. But I do want them kind of close together because I want the emphasis of the design up on the top of the wreath. Okay. Then we will refluff this once we get it all done. Ribbon. Like I said, I wanted to do this pretty gold. And I don't want a lot of ribbon. I'm just going to do a simple 2-loop bow. I don't need a center loop. Oh, here, I already had a piece cut. That to the side. And is that, if I lay this flat, there we go. I'm just going to tie this in to the frame. Make sure that that's secured. And then again, I can just take a couple pieces of the artificial evergreen stems and twist that into place. Then I've got my 2 tails. I'm just going to come down this way a little bit. Again, twist that into place. And maybe this one I'm going to go under so we're not hiding the birch log. Okay. Oh, we're on my stomach, Sean. Next, I've got a couple pine cones here. Now I have taken some wire and used stem wrap because this makes it so much easier to attach. So I want this one kind of hanging down a little bit. So I'm going to go back behind the frame, the wire frame on the back here. Well, that's my plan anyway. Go back behind this bow because I don't want. There we go. Wire that in place again. Sometimes this is a little hard to do upside down. These are beautiful pine cones. You could do clusters of 2 or 3 of the smaller ones. But again, I'm just wrapping them around the different pieces of pine cone. And I'm going to tie this in. Let's see. I'm going to turn this around so I can see it. Maybe here, Sean. There we go. Well, goodness. There.
What would you charge for a wreath like this?
Well, you have to know how much your greenery is because usually you buy it in bulk. And the ribbon, I would say probably at least, oh gosh. That's a hard one. I think it's well worth $100. By the time you add in all your supplies, 75 to 100, I would think. It just depends on probably where you are and what you pay for the product. If you went out and collected pine cones, so really all I have is the base, which are very inexpensive. The ribbon, which I've probably used maybe 2 yards, 2.5 yards. You could do different branches. You could go out and just cut birch. So honestly, you could make this really inexpensive, I believe. So.
Somebody else said 125.
125, yeah. Next, I was just going to add a little bit of shine. So what I did on this, because I was trying to come up with something quick, I took, my dashes. Sorry, I'm back. And I put a dash right in the middle of this little hanger. And then, now if I were doing this, a lot of these bulbs, do your hot glue pot, dip your ball in, and connect the top. That way they won't spring off and go flying when you're trying to add them to your wreath. But I just thought the dashes was a really great thing also for just several of them. But any of the glass balls, the larger ones, dip them in the hot glue, just secure that top so they don't fly. Because as soon as you go to put it in the wreath, one will pop off. So I am just going to take several of them. I've got my taped wire again. You could use bind wire. And then where I've attached, where I've kind of got this little ribbon tied off, I'm just going to add the balls here. And once I've got those attached, I'm just going to bring in some greenery up around that. Just do one more of those. You can do this in any color scheme. You could do the reds, the greens, silver and gold. And you can have these frames already prepared and ready to go. All right, again, right where that ribbon. And just twisting those on. And bring some greenery up so it doesn't look, we want it to look like it's a part of the wreath. All right. I've just got this pine cone. It looks like it's just kind of sticking out here. So I'm going to take some pine, cut this down. I'm going to add that in so that it kind of has a three-dimensional look to it. Because it doesn't all have to be flat. I'm going to do the same thing up here.
What size is the spring?
The wreath, I think it was a 22-inch wreath. 22 or 24. I'm glad you're all tuning in. I know it's a busy, busy day. I sure appreciate it. All right, maybe one more piece. This may go just a tad bit longer than what we're used to doing. We try to keep it at a minimal, not take up a whole lot of your time. And then at the top, I think I want just a piece of the flat cedar. And if you have evergreens, you can go out and cut the evergreen. Berries would be pretty in this. Just be creative. Use your natural resources that are right there in your surroundings. And that's what makes it, it makes it nice, because then you're out in nature, you appreciate a little bit more what's there. I love going out and picking pine cones. I have buckets of pine cones. When I see them set on the ground, I have to pick them up. It's just, my husband's always asking me, what are you going to do with all those pine cones? I don't know, but I'll figure out something. And when I do, I have them. So, all right, last but not least, always make sure that you have a hanger on your wreath, because you don't want your customers to get home and then think, how is this supposed to hang? Is this the top? Is this the bottom? So I'm just taking my wrapped wire. Sean, can you see if I did it there? Can you see in that camera there? All right? Okay, so I'm just going to go down through this frame. And secure this. And you could do zip ties also, but I just think it's nice that there's a hanger for when they get it home. Then they don't have to question, what is the top? How's it supposed to hang? That kind of thing. So there we have that. Okay, then go in the back and cut all your pieces off. I had somebody ask me one time, because I had one flying out. I hadn't seen it, so I'm going to make sure that we try and get that all taken care of this time. All right, I'm going to try and hold this up. Maybe, should I put it against the wall, Sean? And there you have a beautiful evergreen wreath. It can be holiday. It can just be winter. So there you have it. Now next week we're definitely going to be starting into more of the holiday, Christmassy kind of look. So be sure to join us next week. Until then, though, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. From our family here at Florist Review, we definitely want to send our best wishes for your happy Thanksgiving. See you next week. Thank you. Bye.